Greetings to you. Greetings and welcome. Welcome to Uncensored Guyana. I am Dr. Prasad. It's a wonderful day today. Not so wonderful with the rest of the world. And as we know, everything that happens in the wider diaspora will directly affect Guyana. They're putting pressure under the young government that we have, headed by our prince, our loyal king, our supreme leader, President Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali, President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. World War III is imminent, on the horizon, closer than you think. You can go to sleep tonight and wake up tomorrow. Boom! The world is engaged in a war for oil. World War III can be initiated anytime. Well, it started with Venezuela. I've said from the beginning, when Trump started to bomb the boats, I knew the end would have been them taking Maduro. They did not position all those military might in the Caribbean Sea just for theatrics. No. They had a plan. They have a plan, because the military assets are still there. And you think it was just Venezuela, or Colombia, or Cuba, or Mexico? The fleet that America has right now, and it's expanding in Latin America, it's positioned strategically for a reason. And it's not narco trafficking, it's not bombing boats, it's not to oust Nicolas Maduro. It is in preparation for World War III. To dominate the global conflict. That fleet there is to keep Latin America in check, in case if they get ideas and they want to fight with the enemies of the America, to keep them in check, while the rest of the American massive military is spread out throughout the other continents in preparation for what is about to happen. And the only thing that could have ignited World War III is Iran. Because Iran is going to target allies of America, bases in allies countries that belongs to the Americans, and that is the global conflict. Let's pause there for a moment. Guyana is trending again. Again. Might I say this? And I'm saying this with no respecter of persons. I make no apologies, and I'm saying this every day. I have absolutely I'll make it more theatrical. Take the shades off, the glasses. It's prescription glasses. Means I can see better with it. But I want you to see my naked eyes. So you understand what I'm saying, I mean it. I have never, not as a child, not as a teen, definitely not as an adult, had no admiration or respect for black people. None whatsoever. And even in my adult years, I have been able to be satisfied that my hatred for the lifestyle of Negroes were justified over the years. There is no remorse in here, no regret to that emotion. Because as a child, I despised the way black people lived, the way they communicated, the way they treat each other, the way they treat others, the way they treat their neighborhoods, the way they treat nature, the way they treat property, the way they treat money, and most ultimately, the way they treat the thing that they should mostly be fearful of, their God. All of it that I've listed before, blacks have never shown any respect for any of it. And since I am born into this biologically, genetically designed Negroid physique, my soul is not Negro. It's not Afro. It will never be African. My consciousness also is not the same. This is why I can be resembling the Negro, but disgusted by the actions of the Negro. Because the only people who are affected, directly affected by the actions of the Negro are the people who are not Negroes. But the Negro themselves are not affected by the actions of other Negroes. This is why they never condemn it. They always side with it. They always justify it and blame other people for their actions. I am happy I'm not one of them. So I can be disgusted by what they did and what they continue to do. The more they're shamed, the more they are embarrassed and belittled, is the worse they get. This is because the people have no sense of emotions. So they can act indiscriminately. Robbery in Berbice, breaking and entering, devastate a family with children. Robbery in Berbice. Man left his house to run some errands. Robbers break in, devastated the family. Don't ask me who the robbers are. You figure it out. You already know. And there it is today. There it is today. That a black, a fucking nigger, classified as a teenager, a scum, shitty, low-life nigger, male, was shot while being in pursuit to commit robbery with an assailant on Chinese nationals. A good Samaritan, a godly person, A good vigilante saved the Chinese by shooting this nigger, fucking nigger, by shooting him. Don't classify them as teenagers or fucking children. They are criminals. Criminals. Because the Chinese could have been executed in their pursuit to rob the Chinese. Luckily for the Chinese, a good Samaritan shot the nigger. Sadly, for the rest of the country, he wasn't killed. It's a sad day that he wasn't shot and killed. Sad day. Because he would live to rob again. And next time, he might do the shooting. Guyana is trending again. And like always, Guyana don't trend for the good reasons. Not for the good reasons. Simply because the pundits on the PNC, out of jealousy, like Rickford Burke, who probably got sidelined because the Mohammeds paid or are paying Smelly Smell and these others, and he's not getting paid. He has an axe to grind. It's personal with Caesar Mitchell and the Mohammeds and all these other people. That's not fucking news. That's not news. That's not news. The Mohammeds are going down. All the associates of the Mohammeds, it's not news. The country has no time with that shit. No time with that shit. So things that are pushed on these lunatic sites because they have a personal axe to grind because they haven't received their money from the Mohammeds, we don't care. We don't care. Blacks are for hire. They're for hire. So all them other PNC pundits who turned on the Mohammeds, let them work that shit out with the Mohammeds. The Guyana government is doing what the Guyana government has to do regarding the Mohammeds. Get them out the fucking country to face justice in the United States. Rid Guyana of the parasite Azruddin and his father. Rid Guyana of that parasite, that blood-sucking, vampirish parasite. Rid the country of them. We support the government in the initiative. You want to hire 1,000 lawyers to help your chances of getting rid of them? Hire 1,000 lawyers. At the end of the day, make it count. When they're on the plane, it's worth it. That's all our concern is. Not about who got sanctioned with the Mohammeds. It's over. Whose passport got revoked. It's fucking over. That's not our concern. It's established. We know. We all know. What concerns me is the fact that 500,000 people visited Guyana last year. Despite all the bad news and bad ways those niggas have the country trending, people still come because they believed in President Ali. This is January. And before we have trending, airstrips that are being built, programs of the government, legislative programs, the initiatives to suppress and eventually eradicating crime and criminals, the tourism sector boosting, the health sector boosting, every sector boosting. Instead of that trending, we have a fucking lowlife monkey, a baboon from the jungles of Uganda, and his zombie friend in the action to rob a Chinese, who all the Chinese does is to risk taking loans, getting funding, working like slaves to set up businesses, to serve these fucking lowlifes, only to be targeted and robbed continuously. The Chinese are the victims. Continuous target, continuous attacks from these Negroes. And you see where the age is? Look the other day, the bicycle gang. They look like they're older than 12. They didn't. Look the other gang that dropped a man on the street, and 3 of them held him down while one of them pushed his hand in his pocket and robbed him. Look at today. Not a black. They haven't even reached, in most cases, the age of 18, and they are seasoned criminals. Seasoned criminal. You have videos where women, black women, are sending their kids to shoplift in the Chinese supermarket. Why is it that Guyana has to trend this way? It's a disgrace, man. And all you niggas can do is focus on praying for the Mohammeds, praying for the criminals that are funding a lot of these gangs to terrorize society so that the PPP looks bad. What is wrong with you? You continue to shame your country. And all these bloody churches, these wasteful churches, you should be paying taxes. You should be paying taxes because you're taking money from those poor Negroes and promising them some fucking heaven whenever and some blessings for sale. And the more poor they get, the more they blame the government. They're not blaming the churches that are scamming them. They're blaming the government that is providing them with cash grants, tax-free incentives, free education. That's where the blame lies. Not with the pastors and these fucking demonic so-called lying prophets in Guyana that are living like kings while their members can't even score a Bakewell bread. They're not blaming them. Every day is fucking lies. Oh, pray to the Lord. Oh, this every day is lies. Every fucking day is lies. I wish, and I don't wish, but in this sense, I wish fire can come from heaven and burn all the fucking churches in Guyana. I wish. Burn them out from all their lies and their deceit and their evil that they're housing these criminals. They're housing these criminals because a lot of these churches, they get a cut back to keep quiet. They get a cut back from the drug dealers. They corrupt people. They're washing their money in these churches. They're funding these churches to keep quiet. Tell me something, man. When is it going to end? World War III is on the horizon. Who do you think will lose? Who do you think will lose? India is accountable for Indians everywhere. Every country, India is accountable for Indians. So does the Chinese. Oppress white people and see what Europe and America will do to you. Who is accountable to black people? Which country? Which continent? Who? Africa? Which country in Africa is accountable to black people? Nobody gives a fuck about niggers. Nobody. So when World War III happens, black people will be the ones to lose everything. And because I happen to look black, I might face the consequences too, unfortunately. But I believe in reincarnation. I believe in reincarnation. I'm a Hindu, I'm supposed to. But besides that, I believe in that. You know, like the mango falls down from the tree, the seed, the flesh rots, the seed goes into the ground, comes back. It's a cycle. We never die. We reincarnate. When I'm coming again, I will ask Mother Nature, please make sure you don't send me back as a black man. Please. I would need my dick. That you can give me. Don't extend it. That size is good. Because if it gets bigger, I won't get pussy. So that's good. But everything else, not as a black man. It is hard to live as a black man. Hard. Even though you're not black, people still treat you like that. Because of what the others are doing to the world. Because of what the others are doing to society. Again, Guyanese, World War III is going to affect Guyana's economy. Guyana's economy now is largely hooked on oil. On oil. Venezuela is already being captured. When the war starts and Iran goes, so goes the oil. Then Russia will get involved because Russia threatened the US president yesterday. Threatened him. Say, if you drop a bomb in Iran, it's over. You will face consequences you never imagined. That's the threat they made to America. And I think they mean it this time. Because they said the same thing with Venezuela. When Trump was bombing Venezuela and all these things, Russia said the same thing. China said the same thing. If you hit Venezuela, if you take Maduro, Maduro is now in the federal prison waiting his death sentence. All talks from China and Russia and Iran regarding Venezuela. Now, Trump told the Iranian people, keep protesting, take control of government institutions, attack government buildings. Trump ordered the Iranians to do that. Keep protesting. Why? I got your back. Help is on the way. Help is on the way. That's what Donald Trump told the Iranian people. Don't stop protesting. Continue protesting. We are on our way to deliver you from the regime. This is why you take it serious. Because he was saying the same thing regarding Venezuela. A few weeks after, Venezuela was bombed, Maduro was captured, and no retaliation from anyone. So Donald Trump told the Iranian people yesterday, help is on the way. I got you. I am coming to deliver you. It was not just words, because today he ordered US personnel from Iran and around the region to leave. Europe did the same thing. China and India also ordered their personnel and their people to leave the region. This morning, the countries are calling their citizens out of Iran, out of the region. because they know what a lot of us still haven't figured out yet. Iran, just like Venezuela, Cuba, Colombia, Mexico, Greenland, they have resources. They are strategically located that the Americans must possess. Not need to possess, they must possess, take control. And by any means necessary, they shall do it. And now is the time that they decide to do it. And why they would do it to Iran, which might ignite a global conflict, is the fact that Iran, the regime in Iran, and mark this, Guyanese, all of you critics of the Irfan Ali government, Ali is Muslim. So is the Iranian regime. As a matter of fact, Iran is a Muslim republic, only Islam. And the shit you talk about Ali, the lies you spread, the propaganda, you cuss the man's wife, you slander the man's mother, you slander him, you push fake news, you push fake AI video, you did all of that against a Muslim president, and you faced no consequences. Yes, black people in Guyana who said Irfan is a dictator, you faced no consequences to the abuse that you meted out towards against President Irfan Ali. And you have a Muslim republic, all clerics in the parliament, religious people in Iran, pious, that if you Negroes had risked doing to those people what you did to Irfan Ali and continues to do to Irfan Ali, you wouldn't live to talk about it. What the Iranian regime has done to their protesters over the past week, 12,000 killed. 12,000. Don't worry what the Iranian media says, 3,000. 12,000 killed because they protest hunger. They protest the fact that they're earning 140 American dollars a month. That's what they protested, and they are murdered for it by a Muslim regime. You think President Ali can dare? I mean, look at the cash grants. The cash grants alone, how much is it? 100,000. That's about $500 for free. And the people of Iran, educated, because most do, it's mandatory that you go to school there. So Iran don't have dumb people. They're working, they're earning a monthly salary of 140 American dollars. How much Guyana dollars is that? About 30,000? 30,000 Guyana dollars? Let's say that 30,000 Guyana dollars is what the Iranian people are working for a month. And from that, they have to pay rent, feed their families, pay their bills from that. And they protest against that, and they're murdered by their government, killed, hanged, brutalized for that. And you Guyanese are enjoying a salary of over 200,000 plus per month. And you're cussing out the president, plus you're getting free this, free education, cash grant. All of these facilities you're having. You have a strong passport. And all you can do is to join the haters of other Negroes who are jealous because they're not in government to exploit the resources of the country and spread fake news. That's all you can do. Well, the President of America is the liberator. And he told the Iranian government, if you hung any protester, because they schedule today to have public executions. Imagine the Iranian government is going to hang their citizens in the public by the neck until dead just because they protested 140 American dollars salary. That's it. That's their crime. And they're going to kill the citizens just because they don't want that salary anymore. So the American president says, no, you hung them and I bomb you. I devastate you. And I'm supportive with that. I would wish that he does the same. I would wish. People deserve to live, man. I'm in support of Donald Trump bombing Iran. I'm in support of the Iranian people. The same way I'm in support of the good people of Venezuela and the Guyanese citizen. We have to be practical here. We can't take what we have for granted. We really can't do that. But they continue to devastate the country. They continue to affect the smooth flowing of the Guyanese economy by spreading their lies. Now they're spreading, the PNC is spreading that the oil would only last for the next 2 years. Where the fuck did they get that from? These are the things they're not pushing. That the oil boom only gonna last for the next 2 years. And people are buying this shit. Not people, black people. Just because they want something. It doesn't matter if it's fake, something to support their anger, to justify their hatred for President Ali. Anything will do. Even spreading lies about oil lasting for the next 2 years. Fellow Guyanese, why I need to address that? Because they're innocent people who would fall for this kinds of stuff. And it interferes with their peace. Fellow Guyanese, the investment that the founders of the oil made, the white people, ExxonMobil and all these companies, is in the billions. If they thought, based on their data, that the oil that they are going to be pumping is only oil that will last for 10 years, it's not worth their investment. They wouldn't bother with it. You understand? The oil that Guyana has already discovered and is being worked, not the ones they haven't yet initiated. The one that they've been working since 2019, that oil will go beyond 2050. Beyond that. You understand? Please be careful where you get your information from and from what source. If the government understood that any oil investment is short-lived, they won't be investing in all this infrastructure. The IMF and these other banks would not be giving Guyana money with a short-term glory day. All of these investments that the foreigners, the foreign companies, the banks are making in Guyana is because they have secured a long-term payment agreement. Long-term, for 20, 30 years and beyond. Because the resources of the country can sustain any loans, while at the same time providing for its citizens. Can we just keep our attention on the government, the things that are coming out of the government, and ignore information on the other side. The only thing that they spread is propaganda, is fake news, is bad information, is lies. That's the only thing they spread. They shore up this man as if he's some deity. You think I'm impressed because some Canadian High Commission in Guyana decide to sit down with the Mohammeds? What is that supposed to mean? Is Canada running Guyana? They would sit with anybody. Anybody. If Roger can't ask for a meeting, they'll sit with him. If Doggy wants to see the High Commissioner, he will see Doggy. So what? You think that's supposed to pressure the president or the Speaker of the House to say, you see, the white man is sitting down with the criminal. So you see, you need to listen to the white man, because the white man says and the white woman say, you have to swear in the opposition leader. Well, I say, fuck them. That's what I say. Fuck them. When Guyana has its problems, you don't hear from them. The most they do is to advise their citizens not to come to Guyana. That's what they did and does. And quite frankly, I think Canada somehow has a weak spot for the opposition, the PNC. They have some issues with the PPP. I think so. Because all the time when they had issues against Irfan Ali, when they were in opposition, it was Canada who was siding with the Granger government in terms of applying pressure on Ali and so on. So I think there is something with Canada and these anti-PPP people, something there. That's my theory on that. Secondly, I believe that in the near future, that ambassador, that woman, she shall be recalled. I believe so. In the near future, I think the American State Department will send for her. They will replace her. She's overstepping her bounds. She's getting too political. That's not their role. So I think Trump might recall her. After all, I don't think she's an appointee of him. She was there in the Biden era. So I think she might be exchanged for somebody better. That's my theory on that. But Guyanese, don't let these foreign interferers cause you to lose sleep. Yeah, they're adding some kind of legitimacy to the Mohammeds. That's good for the Mohammeds, but it's bad for the country. These are people who like to see chaos in your country so they can exploit your resources while your government is busy dealing with the internal struggles. They help to create problems, and then they're on the side pretending to help to solve the problems while making deals at the lowest possible bid. So you don't trust them. You trust your government, you support your government, and you stand with your government. So you blacks who are saying, are quoting the American ambassador, or quoting the Canadian people, or quoting whatever it is, send your quote to Aubrey Norton. He shall be impressed with that. The rest of us don't give a fuck. We don't give a fuck what they say. Guyana is a sovereign nation. We have a strong president. We have a strong government. And the country stands behind the government. Azruddin Mohammed must not be sworn in as opposition leader. You don't bother with the American ambassador. We can work around it. This is like another analogy. Knowing the woman has AIDS, you know she has AIDS. You saw the test. The doctor told you she is convicted with AIDS. There is an HIV indictment on her body. You know that, I'm telling you. She's wanted for treatment. Okay? And then your brother come to you and say, well, I can work around that. As long as I don't come inside of her, I won't get it. Or I can use a condom. Yeah. So when he goes and have sex with her, and in the height of the sweetness, he's like, fuck it, I ain't pulling out. Please God, don't let me get, please God, please God. And he comes inside of her and in her fluid too. Then he's like, oh yeah, well, you should have warned me. Why listen to me? That's the Americans. They sanctioned the man. Their embassy issued the warrant. They were the ones who warned the Guyanese prior to the elections. Don't listen to this Mohammed. Don't support this Mohammed. They were the ones. They know all his crimes, including Canada. And now they want to trick the Guyanese people. They say, don't worry, you can swear him in, and we can work around as long as there's no financial. Every fucking thing is financial when it comes to the Americans. Everything is money. Everything is money. So then when the man is sworn in, and there's certain constitutional protection, and that the government has to work certain deals out that requires involvement of the opposition, they're going to say, well, we can't negotiate because we can't be associated with the opposition. And this particular case, we can't work around it. We need the opposition participation. But since this opposition is a criminal that you swore in, this deal can't go ahead. Setting up the government. So I say, don't fall for it. Don't bow to the pressure. All the countries that bow to the trickery and the pressure from the US State Department and America, look where they are now. Look where they are. If we are standing with the Americans, we stand with the Americans on the basis of law and order, and what is good for you is good for me. But trying to have them influence a procedure that is only unique to the Guyanese people, don't fall for it. They can say whatever. What they're going to do, sanction the country because the parliament doesn't swear in a sanctioned man that they sanction? That's what they're going to do. That's the consequences. I would be happy if the Speaker of the House never swears in the Mohammeds. Discuss the budget without him. He shouldn't even be in the parliament. He's a criminal. How is it that his probation allows him to be a member of parliament? The man is on bail, remember? How many times has he been on bail? 4 times? 5 times? So if he's on bail, pending the conclusion of his cases, what is he doing in the parliament? Where our priority lies. There are other things we need to focus on. Don't flood social media with shitty things about the Mohammeds or these diplomats. We have a strong president. We have an independent government. And again, keep your eyes, Guyanese, on the programs and the policy of the Ali government. Everything is free. I said last year that public transportation shall be free very soon. In other words, the government is going to provide public transportation for all citizens around the country, free of cost. You can travel to the city, travel to wherever, go to your jobs, and you don't have to fund unless you want to be an elite and you want to hire a taxi, then that's on you. But what's best for you is to understand that the government is going along that route. Free public transportation. And you want that to be disturbed by a criminal? Because the Americans don't have free public transportation. They don't have that. What is free in America? Nothing. Your government is giving you all of these concessions, all of these grants and all of these favors. You wanna lose that? The same way I've said many times about the Venezuelan conflict, it came to pass. I'm saying World War III is on the horizon. It shall come to pass. And black people would be the ones to lose, to suffer. Black people. So right now, your best bet is to show how patriotic you are and protect your country. As long as the battle begins, Venezuelan opposition, not opposition, Venezuelan gang members, the tyrants, the militants, and all these people are going to rise up and they're going to seek to exploit and take advantage of Guyanese. The war will come on Guyana's shores. However it is, we can't run from it. The most we can do is bind ourselves together and stand with our government. We are fortunate that we don't have the fate like the Iranians, where you can't exercise freedom of speech, where your internet is down or you're censored. Those are the liberties we have in Guyana. The freedoms that is afforded us by Chetty, Dr. Jagan. Because in Bornham time, you didn't have the freedom. You were killed. Oh yeah. He was a tyrant. And his people, PNC, tyrants. You are free under the PPP. You are free to do like bench cop. You want to organize a coup. When Jack Day was president, he caused so many blacks to lose their lives. You're free like Burke and Smelly Smell. Pushing fake news. You're free like the Mohammeds. Scandalizing people, invading people's privacy, and the corruption and the evil they have done. Unlimited freedom. You have as Guyanese. And you exploit it to the point where you somehow think you deserve more freedom, so you can steal and rob and kill with no consequence. And you're blaming Irfan Ali. You're calling him a dictator. Look at your life. You are so free that even without a job, you still eat. You still eat. You can still go to these Jamaican shows and spend thousands. Where you get the money from, I don't know, but my point is, consider the luxury you have under President Irfan Ali. Consider the luxury. That's the freedom. And you think you deserve more with no effort? How was your life before the Mohammeds got involved? Prior to July 2025, how was your life? What was he busy doing? Building a few shabby houses by giving out loans to the owners of those houses and then pretend that he donated the houses. Refurbish engines and motorcycles, giving out to people. Elections finished September 2025. From September to now, search the Mohammed's page. What, besides the ritual food they cook for those hungry belly Negroes on Christmas Day, besides that, what other charity have they done? Post-elections, what other charity? What house? What donation did they make post after elections. Search the internet. No, search their page. And you still think they are worth your defense? You still think so? They used you, they tricked you, they lied to you, they seduced you to help them to prevent extradition and jail time. And they're still doing it. And you still think they deserve your prayers to keep them out of prison from facing the justice of crimes that they committed? You didn't commit the crimes, they did. And despite all of that, the communities that are experiencing the growth, the investment of the government, are the communities that voted for the Win people. Look at the hinterlands, the Amerindian communities, airstrip, modernized airport, roads, all those things. They didn't vote for the PPP. They vote for Win. But you see what the PPP is doing for them? It's not the last year for the elections. The first few months of the new government, and Ali is focusing heavily investment in the regions that has long been neglected by the PNC. Even though they didn't vote for Ali, he is maximizing his investment in bringing those communities up to the 2030th era. Aren't you ashamed? Aren't you ashamed? Aren't you embarrassed that you did not support President Ali's re-election? You joined the camp to criticize, condemn, and to spread fake news about him and his government and his cabinet. Aren't you ashamed that the same people that you tried to kill, to smear, are coming every day, devoting time, devoting effort, putting actual money in building your communities? Aren't you ashamed to accept it? You don't deserve it. You really have no sense of shame. You really don't. And then you have the audacity to call the man a racist. The PPP is only looking after their own. Well, if the PPP is only looking after their own, then their own, meaning their own, as in the PPP's own, are black people and Amerindians. Because the PPP are not looking after the Indians. They're looking after the blacks, the Amerindians. So if the PPP, they're looking after their own, yes, you're correct. Black people and Amerindian people. Because with the Indians, they're still waiting for service. They're not benefiting from the government. They're not. Every region, even if you think it's Berbice or Essequibo, wherever, that the government is heavily investing in, look the areas of the investment and who lives around those areas. Black people, not Indian people. So the perception that the Indians are benefiting, no, they're not. They're the ones who are struggling, working hard, sacrificing, day in, day out. While the blacks are home, on their phones, on social media, with free Wi-Fi, cussing out the president, threatening me, sharing fake news, subscribing to the anti-government platforms. Yeah, that's what they're doing. You see, my crowd are busy progressing, working, earning, building. My crowd, they're busy doing that. They don't have time to spend all day on social media because they have a life. They have a life. But the crowd of the PNC, they don't have a life. They have nothing to do. So they can build numbers for Smelly Smell, build numbers for Burke, build numbers for Duncan, and all of these PNC pundits. They can build numbers for them because their audience are a bunch of lowlife that have nothing to do than to sit around and see which Chinese is unsuspecting, and they get themselves together to go rob the Chinese, pick the Indian pocket, molest the Amerindian, spy on the Caucasian. That's what they do all day. And on social media, they can click on videos. So you think that these platforms are popular. No, they are popular because the numbers of people that watch them and follow them have nothing to do with their lives. I am happy to say that my audience, my followers, 99% of them are educated business people, working people, professional people, responsible people, godly people. They're quality. So I'm not confusing my audience or the PPP's followers with the PNC followers or the WIN followers. The PNC followers and the WIN followers are low lives. They're a bunch of low lives, lazy fucks who live on free food and free money. And a lot of them free rent because they're not paying the Indian people their rent. A lot of them. So what? You call me an Uncle Tom again? I made it clear many times. I'm not black. I'm saying it on the internet. World Wide Web. I'm saying it. Everybody can hear me. I am not supportive. I'm not an admirer of anything black because it's too low life. Low life. Poor, ignorant, stupid, nasty. That's it. Until they change, which I don't think is possible. Because every generation of black people gets worse. Dumber, lazier, more ignorant, and more violent. Every generation. Look on social media and you can prove me right. Just today, in Guyana, one of which you see, there are many more. Black man shot in the pursuit of committing robbery on innocent Chinese business people. That is today, 2026, January 14th. Now let David Hines, and since the ERC is going to investigate the Mohammeds for the racial slurs, good luck with that. But let all of these people, instead of talking about shitty things, let them come out and condemn crime. Crime is what I want them to condemn. Crime. Condemn crime. That's what they should condemn. Don't talk about minister this and minister that and minister this and minister that. PNC ministers were not better. They were worse. Like I said, they steal money to give their prostitutes and their pimps and their whores. They didn't steal money to build anything. They steal money to eat and to fuck. PNC ministers. So if the PPP ministers are accused of stealing money and they build apartments, they build businesses, or they open gas stations, at least they're hiring people. They're providing housing. They're providing homes. They're providing facilities. They're investing the same money they stole back in the country, boosting the value of the country. Which do you prefer? A stealing PNC that takes money and bribe your wife to fuck your wife and bribe your young son to bugger your young son or to fight to some country to engage with some underage girl and they come back and they're broke, which is better? I'd rather you steal and invest it and let me see that you use the money for something good. Don't steal to smoke and to fuck and to, nah. Then you go to prison for that. The case is still pending or still being tried from the 2020 rigged election. They can't finish with that yet. Can't finish yet with that. Anyway, until next time, goodbye.